As you may or may not know, the two Kenyans that were abducted in Uganda, namely Njagi and Nicholas Oyo, are currently resident in their country, Kenya. A few weeks ago, police was queried on the whereabouts of these people, and police confidently came out to say they didn't have any record of these two people. But it was a few days ago, President Museveni came out and said, they had two Kenyans in custody, but upon a few calls that were made between officials in Kenya and Uganda, they had agreed that they either let these people go or have them jailed in the cells of Uganda. Now, what came out that the Kenyans were actually locked out in something they called a fridge. A fridge is actually a cell or a safe house where many of the so-called criminals in Uganda are kept, but specifically by high intelligence officials, specifically attached to the office of the president or the military section of the security sector in Uganda. But one person who is currently resident in Germany or Europe, called Kakwenza, was a victim of the torture in that fridge. Came out to exactly give the clear picture of what a fridge means. In Uganda, when they say that you're going to be kept in a fridge, this is what you are actually going to be experiencing as described by Kakwenza. Allow me to read this to you because it's a detailed write-up that I really want to read firsthand to you. The write-up reads, "Let me tell you about this fridge that Despot Museveni bragged about recently. It's at the SFC in Entebbe, a facility built right in a swamp. Wow. So cold that your bones and entire body ache from the dampness. Those detained there are forced to dance and or exercise non-stop 24/7, even with broken legs, because that's the only way to stay alive. If you stop moving, you freeze to death. You just hear fellow captives collapse in a heap and die. You do not see them because all the time you are blindfolded and handcuffed, and smell of sweat pervading the entire room. I was held there from 28th December until 2021, until I was secretly smuggled into court the following year. For more about this hellhole, read The Savage Avenger, published in 2023. In short, the fridge is actually a torture chamber for many of people that do not either, agree with what the state is saying or are being perceived or determined to be rebellious to the state. And that's what a fridge is. Kenyans, Tanzanians, Ugandans specifically. Rwanda, I'm not yet sure. But I think this is a message we need to start getting to terms with, that the president of Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, these are friends. If you commit a crime in Kenya, yes, and you're Ugandan. If you commit a crime in Uganda and you're a Kenyan, best believe if Ruto wants you, they'll get you. If you're Ugandan and you commit a crime in Kenya, then you run to Uganda. What am I saying? I'm confused. Here's the thing. If you commit a crime in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, and you're still within the same geographical location, these people will get you because they work together. Take, for example, the case of Dr. Kizza Besigye, how he was picked from Kenya like as if he was being picked from a nearby town. That is one. Now, take an example of these Kenyans that came from Kenya thinking nobody knows about their coming, only to be captured within a group of people and then abducted for 38 freaking days, being in a fridge. You have to know that. And President Museveni said it. He said that they have intelligence. They know everything that people are doing. So that means that even within the NUP party itself, there's government spies that are working for President Museveni. So it's obvious that someone actually within the National Unity Platform could have given the security operatives from the president a 411 of these are the people that have come from Kenya, and this and this and this. And they pinpointed them from a crowd and were abducted. Nobody was hurt, but they only picked them alone. What are the odds that the security operatives from Uganda were not helped by someone in the inside of the National Unity Platform. Another thing, Agatha Atuhaire was in Tanzania with some other Kenyan activists. And guess what? They were they were arrested like, I don't know. They were arrested like chickens, tortured, and then thrown back to Uganda. Some Kenyans who were actually caught up within Tanzania during the mandamano that was happening there were also arrested, only to be released yesterday. So these people are working they know each other. So if Suluhu says that these are the kinds of people I want from your country and they did some crimes in my country, believe you me, they're going to come for you. So you need to be very careful. You really need to be careful because these people are not joking.